Hi, I'm Joe,
And I'm Tracy.
and this is our channel, Retirement in Color, as we document our steps towards retirement, from deciding where we're going to land, picking a lot, building our house, making all those selections that go along with decorating that house and the boathouse and all these choices that have to be made along the way.
Overwhelming choices. But yeah, we're glad to have you on this journey with us, and we would love it if you would hit that like button and consider subscribing so you're notified when we put out new videos.
On our last video, we promised that the next video would be about why Alabama. That seems to be the most common question we get from everybody. Why Alabama? Maybe that's because we've lived in Arizona for the last 10 years and our friends and family are all here, but today's kind of been a gloomy day outside, so we figured we'd stay inside and talk to you about why we picked Alabama.
So yeah, when I was growing up, we had a boat. It was I want to say it was a 32-foot Chris Craft wooden hulled cabin cruiser. And so we would take vacations on this boat. We would take like 2 weeks and cross over Lake Michigan from Wisconsin to Michigan. And it was just really fun memories being on the water, just the whole boat life. And I also have some very, very fond memories fishing with my grandmother on Hooker Lake in Salem, Wisconsin. And we would just go out, crack of dawn, and we would have a contest who caught the first fish or who caught the biggest fish. So my dream has always been to walk out my backyard and get onto the boat or throw a fishing pole in the water and catch dinner.
And we live in Arizona. There aren't many lakes, well, there aren't any lakes like that here where we're able to build a house right on the lake. That's just not done here. The closest we could get would be the Colorado River, but that's not really lake life. That's kind of a big, fast-moving body of water. And there aren't that many options even on the Colorado. So we have explored those options in Arizona and the western United States, but one of the biggest things that I deem important is weather. I don't like snow. I don't like hurricanes. So as we look at different places and states, we've been to obviously California, Utah, New Mexico, Texas.
I like Texas.
She did like Texas, but Texas wasn't it. The cost of living in Texas is kind of high, and it's not as tax friendly to retirees. So we decided to keep looking. Mm-hmm. Louisiana we liked, but it was a little too rural for her.
Too rural, a little bit too deliverance for me.
I liked it a lot. But we then went to, we've been to Florida. There's a lot going on in Florida, so then we looked at the Atlanta area, and from Atlanta we branched out to South Carolina and the lakes there. Beautiful hospitality, and then we went to Alabama, and in Alabama we saw a property with the most beautiful sunset that was for sale. And it had all the things in the lake property that we were looking for, in that it wasn't, you didn't have to walk down the steep decline to get to the lake. It was just a nice, smooth water. And we could have year-round water if we built a pier that went out a little bit into the lake. So we've made a decision that it's going to be Logan Martin Lake in Alabama.
Well, I remember when we first stepped out of the car at that property, it was right around sunset, and the first word out of both of our mouths was wow.
When you know, you know. My first words, I think, were, we're going to make an offer on this property.
Yeah.
And when you know, you know. I mean, I remember our first date. I'd met Tracy once before, but I brought a balloon that said, "Welcome to your last first date," because I already knew. It took me a few years to convince her, but I already knew.
But I do remember standing on the property and thinking, can I picture myself here? Can I picture myself here? Does this feel like my home? And it really did.
And so we why we ended in Alabama, that's kind of the focus of this video. It was in my research, it was one of the more tax-friendly places. And I'll let Tracy tell you a little bit about the facts that led us to leaning that direction.
Yeah, so I did find some facts on the website because I want to make sure that we got them right. And this is according to World Population Review, that Alabama is the 6th best state for retirement in the United States. Alabama has mild winters, beaches, and golf topped off by a cost of living that is 13% below the national average. Alabama's highest state income tax rate is only 5%, and Social Security benefits and income from traditional pension plans are exempt from income tax. Additionally, Alabama has the second lowest property taxes in the U.S. at a rate of 0.42%, and all homeowners 65 or older are exempt from state property taxes.
So those are some good, valid financial reasons why we chose Alabama. We're also excited to explore that part of the country. We've spent the last 10 years together here, and we have traveled pretty much everywhere in the Southwest. And as we move to the Alabama area, we will have a new anchor point, and so we'll be able to explore the states there and see all the beauty there is to offer. I'm from Arizona and I love the sunsets, but I'll tell you, Alabama's got sunsets that are almost as beautiful as Arizona sunsets. Okay, maybe a little better because the water we'll be looking at every day. But we're looking forward to seeing the history that is there. There's some beautiful nature and lots of waterfalls to explore. A whole different eco-structure than we're used to. Also, I spent some of my young life in Pennsylvania and the East Coast. I love the green, but want to take Tracy and show her those parts of the world, and Washington, D.C. Just a lot to explore in that area as we move east.
Yeah, I'm excited to visit places like Nashville and New Orleans and Savannah and of course Walt Disney World. But we would love to hear some ideas. If you've traveled that part of the country, what are some places, some must-see places that we need to go to? So if you could put those suggestions in the comments below, we would love it.
Also, we like going on cruises. We'll have a whole new set of options as we've got the Gulf right there. Mm-hmm. And so that'll be fun.
That'll be fun.
Another reason we've chosen to live in Alabama is because of Southern hospitality. I think that everywhere we met people, they were just so friendly, so kind, so giving, and there was such a sense of community. We've made friends there every visit, and everybody just seems to go out of their way to be your friend and to be welcoming. We have one set of friends who've taken us out on their boat a couple times, and we have people who on Facebook says, "Oh, we live down the road from you. Next time you're out, let's go out to dinner." I think that it's going to be a nice community to live in, and I look forward to that small town living because, here we live in a big city, and when I grew up, I knew all my neighbors, and I've tried here, but it's just not that sense of community that we've experienced there in the South, and I'm looking forward to that.
I remember the first trip we took out there, we were looking at a different lake, and we were just driving down the street, and there was some guy in his yard, and we stopped and we asked him a quick question, and he was so nice that he came over to our car, and we talked like in the middle of the street for a half an hour. That's just like nothing like that would ever happen here. I feel
people just want to get rid of you, and
mm-hmm.
forget about their lives. And it's mm-hmm. not about helping your friend or your neighbor. It's about being an individual, and we like the sense of community. So we're hoping that that's a reality.
Yeah, I do really miss that sense of community. I'm looking forward to it. I'm also looking forward to one thing that we definitely can't do here in Arizona that I'm used to growing up is being outside in the summer, especially with your community, having like the 4th of July parades or like the farmers markets and things like that. So I'm kind of looking forward to that aspect of a little community as well.
Let us know what you think. Is Southern hospitality a reality, or is it a lot of hype? Are there downsides to small town living that we're not aware of? Let us know in the comments so we can consider your thoughts. And we look forward to talking to you again as we continue our journey towards retirement.
For our next video, we're considering doing something like a this or that, because mine and Joe's decorating tastes are very, very different. So we thought that it might be fun if we found some pictures on Pinterest or the web or whatever and show you what I like versus showing you what Joe likes, for instance, like for the kitchen or the bathroom or even what the front of the house looks like, and then having you guys vote and helping us decide which one you like better. So let us know if that's something that you think would be fun.
Just to give you a little sneak view, I should turn the camera right now over to this lamp.
I love that
Tracy
lamp.
loves.
I love that lamp.
But we won't do that. We'll save that for later. Thanks, guys.
Bye for now. See you in our next video.
Bye. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. All that good stuff. Send comments. Make fun of us in public when you see us. Whatever.